What's up, guys? My name is Emlyn. This is Celesta.
Hello.
We are here for part 2 of the Dating Hot Takes episode. I had so many questions and I was like, we can't just fit this into one episode. I'm sorry. If you haven't yet seen the episode, feel free to check it out. You don't need to have seen it to watch this one, but I think it's fun, so you should.
It's pretty interesting. We touch on some interesting topics.
Certainly interesting.
Yeah.
And I learned things that I didn't want to know. How have you been?
I'm good. How are you?
A good week. I'm good. I've been wallowing today, going through a little mini heartbreak.
Oh, no.
It's okay,
so
though.
sad.
You can't win them all.
No, you can't,
That's okay. But, I'm gonna keep plugging away.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
Perseverance.
Perseverance is key.
That is. It really is.
But luckily, the questions that I have today are going to set us into the right tone. As we venture into the world of controversial questions about partners, those of you who are new to this episode, Celeste has been in a relationship for almost 10 years. I am single, painfully today. We're so close. But we offer very interesting dual perspectives on topics. We almost often never agree on things. It's usually me being like, I'm toxic, and she's like, not me. So on the topic of toxic, does your partner having a celebrity crush bother you at all?
No. Well, with Caleb, our first date or second date, we told each other our celebrity crushes, and we both ended up working with the said celebrity crush.
What?
Yeah. So
see, I think when it's too close for comfort, it adds a whole other layer.
Yeah. I mean, we can see them at Ralph's, so it's not fun for us. If you can see them at a gas station, no,
especially here.
Yeah,
majorly.
No, or work with them the next day. Get out.
So to be clear, your celebrity crush was somebody that you worked with, and his celebrity crush ended up being somebody he worked with, right?
Yeah. Well, so I don't want to say who it is.
Okay, fine.
But and you know the story, but
okay. So Celesta's celebrity crush is a household name. We're not going to say names.
No, but it's a lot of people's celebrity, literally every girl ever. It's their celebrity crush, basically.
But
so I worked with this person on a show, and it was their show. My scene was ultimately cut out, actually.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I wasn't even on the show, which is the best part of this whole thing, is that
no one will ever know. Truly.
Great. So
sad for you guys.
I am on set. I meet this person, and I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. There's so many people back home are going to be like, oh my God, she met so-and-so. I don't really get weird around people like that anymore, but it was his show, so of course I was respectful. But basically we were just cracking jokes against each other, and he realized that I was a chill person to work with. Throughout the day we were just bantering, and then he asked me if I'm in a relationship or if I'm married, something like that. And I was like, no, I have a boyfriend, and you and my boyfriend, because this is true, they got into a Twitter war once, years ago, before my boyfriend and I were dating. And I was like, yeah, and actually, I don't know if you run your Twitter, but if you do, you tweeted at him. And he's like, who? And I was like, Caleb Worthy. And he was like, oh, this kid? And I was like, yeah. So he then took a photo with me and tweeted it and tagged Caleb.
Publicly?
Yeah.
And tagged your boyfriend?
Yeah. And he was like,
wait, household name, takes a photo with you, posts it to Twitter, and tags your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Wild.
But yeah, but it was all so fun. He was just super, super chill, and it was really fun. And I think he just saw the fun Twitter beef and was like, okay, this is a good opportunity to be funny. I don't know. And then 20 minutes later, Caleb calls me, and I happen to be sitting next to him, and I'm like, hello, and he's like, is that Caleb? And I'm like, yeah. And he just takes the phone. He's like, hello, Caleb. And he's like, this is so and so. And he just starts, I don't know, he just starts messing with Caleb, and it was kind of funny. But I was like, we should probably never talk about celebrity crushes again, given that the situation may play out unlike we ever thought would be possible.
The best part is that this story was relayed to me from Caleb, and his perspective, he was like, I was just so starstruck on the phone.
Oh yeah, as far as Caleb was concerned, he this person picked up my phone. I don't,
imagine Beyonce calling your phone, and you're just like, huh? What?
He's married now, and he has kids, and I ran into him and his wife a few years back, a couple years after that, and they're really good people. So it was just an ultimately fun little
wild.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
When you told Caleb, oh, blah, blah, blah is my celebrity crush, was he like, oh, I got into Twitter before that person?
He did. Yeah, he was. He was like, wait, that's so funny because XYZ. And I was like, why? He's like, I don't know. I thought it would be funny. Because like, if you know anything about Caleb, he's just like, whatever will make people laugh, he's in for it. Yeah.
Who was his? Or can you not say?
No, actually, his was the same, like someone that a lot of guys have crushes on. And then he did end up working with her once. But her kids are like 19. So I was like, Caleb, relax.
See, my issue with the celebrity crush thing was that my ex's celebrity crush, he literally picked somebody that we could have walked into on a Saturday at any event. She was just so accessible that I hated it so much. Every time he brought her up, I was like, oh, can I get myself?
I think that's one of the funny things about our celebrity crushes, that they were so inaccessible that's why we talked about it. And meanwhile, we ended up running into those people.
Meanwhile, like, I've never run into this girl before. But she is super hot, so the bisexual me kicked in, and I was like, I feel like I could pull her. And
that would be the best revenge I've ever.
So, Olivia O'Brien, if you're watching, hey girl,
DM, slide in those DMs. Living in this town and being in this industry, like, celebrities are not celebrities anymore. So, like, having a crush on them is no different than having a crush on like the local guy at Target. You remember growing up and like the hot guy that worked at Target when you were like 17, whatever. It's the same shit here. It's like they're
It's true. It really hit me differently. Like, I did a meet and greet at one point for one of my shows, and one of my fans came up wearing merch of a guy that I had like a situationship with.
On purpose?
No. Nobody knew. Like, I was like, oh, nice shirt. Like, I said, I'm getting home. Meanwhile, all my like friends that knew were in the background being like, I was like, oh, nice shirt. And she was like, I know, isn't he the best? He's so cute. I was like,
LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He's fabulous.
It's also not the first time that's happened. Just recently when Spotify Wrapped came out, I was like, in everyone's top 5, it was like me and one of my ex-situationships who happens to be in the music industry. So
have you talked to me about this person?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't know if you know. I'll tell you though.
Oh.
It was one of those weird ones where you just wouldn't expect there to be musical overlap based on the types of music we make, but it comes back. It haunts me. Wow. So, but yes, I think that was when I realized I was like, all right, people are just not people. Like, everyone's just a person now living in LA.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that. So I think basically, long story short, you're not going to have celebrity crushes, but I think it adds a little bit of fun. Also, if you're dating somebody not in the music industry, that's fucking fun.
Yeah.
That's my personal take. Ghosting, a cliche or like a valid like way to kind of end things with somebody, do you think?
I mean, obviously it depends like how deep you are in with that person.
Let's say it's 2 weeks talking to somebody. Can you ghost them?
I mean, you can, and like you're not, no one's going to hate you for it. But I also think like ghosting and like refusing to give any kind of answer to your actions is just kind of a sign of immaturity.
Facts. I also feel like if someone's going to ghost you, they're not the person for you.
Well, that's for sure. But like at least give someone the respect of knowing why.
That being said, I did ghost somebody last week.
Well,
but I feel like I only ghost if it's like early enough on in like a talking situation where like, can you really be mad at me? Like, we didn't really have anything serious, But like all my like mature friends and family would be like, just use your words, which like sometimes it's just so complicated. Like,
if you really don't care, then I guess there's really no reason to give an explanation. Like, I can see that point of view.
This one was just like, I was dealing with like other boy drama. I'm like, you don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So what am I going to tell you?
Right. Fair enough.
So sometimes it's okay to ghost, but not if you're a man that's
dating
and
emlyn.
Dating me. Not if you're a man dating me.
Yeah.
So ghosting, okay if it's not against me.
Right. Correct.
Do you remember your first date with Caleb?
I do, perfectly.
Did you kiss on the first date?
No.
Okay. Was that like a thing? Did you have like a I don't kiss on the first date?
Wait, did we? Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So what happened was the first time, so we met, we all hung out in a group. This was back in like 2015. And we all went to a bar together and we were meeting. And then he called me after that and said, can I take you out on like Friday, whatever.
Wait, slow down, back up. I want the whole story. So did he like tell somebody that you in your group that he's into you? How did he get your phone number? Like, how did he?
Yeah. So my best friend, Chris, R.I.P., kind of like set us up because he was working with Caleb. And I don't know why, because Caleb and I are not similar people, but Chris had such like a feeling that this was like my person, which is, again, so weird. I actually had a boyfriend at the time when I met Caleb.
See, sometimes it's not
So maybe this is why I'm really against ghosting, because like instead of like cheating or trying to like weave my way around it, I quite literally came home and like basically told him that I fell for another person. And like I do feel bad for doing that to my boyfriend at the time, but like however, it's almost 10 years later, so like clearly I was right. Like I do have feelings, and you know what I'm saying?
You know, my best friend always says, never let your boyfriend get in the way of your husband.
Truer words.
Crazy, right?
Truer words.
And through this dating journey, I've been like holding that heavy too. Like,
obsessed with that.
Sucks to that guy, you know.
Sure.
Sorry, but also, Caleb and you have been together for 10 years, so.
Yeah, like, right. Like, you know, and I actually ran into my ex at a grocery store. Literally physically ran into him. It was tragic.
Oh.
And he just does not want good for me. But I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
No, right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. But continue.
Fair.
So you were like.
So Caleb went home after the night we met and like looked me up on Twitter, saw that I had a boyfriend, and like was kind of bummed.
Mm-hmm.
And then when my boyfriend and I broke up, Chris, my friend, messaged Caleb on Twitter, #2015, and was like, "Hey, Celesta's single now." So
that's crazy.
So fucking ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's literally it's ludicrous.
FYI, Celesta's single.
It's ludicrous. And he's like, "Hey, all right, like, no, for real." So then like 2 days later was the weekend, and we all go out, and the rest is kind of history.
2 days later?
Yeah.
Holy.
No, no. In my head, it was like 4 days, but this could have gone on over the span of like a month. Well, no, because we met April 9th, 2015, and our first date was April 15th, 2015.
Oh my God. The realization. It's fine.
I broke up with my ex that quickly.
Never let your boyfriend get in the way of your husband.
Clearly I did not. Oh my God. All right. Well, yeah, it happened in like 18 minutes.
You were baby.
Yeah, I was brand new 21.
Also, that guy's going to find his wife and be like, thank God she dumped me.
It's true.
Or whatever.
And I wish the best for him. He was not a bad person at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. Okay, so you did kiss on your first date.
Our first date, yes. Not the first hangout, yeah.
Okay. And what was your first date?
He picked me up and we went to a restaurant right here, Ca del Sole. And we still go every year on our anniversary, which is April 15th.
So clearly you didn't have the rule of no kissing on a first date.
No, but Caleb was only my second first date ever.
Oh my God, did you kiss on the other first date?
No, that was... If you're watching this somehow, I don't even remember your name. But if you are watching this, I apologize. Because my first date ever was with a guy I met at a studio I was a receptionist at. And the only reason I said yes, and I think he knew this, is because he looked like Ben Savage. And he literally looked like Corey Matthews. And I could not go on a date with Corey Matthews.
That's fine. I only said yes to a date one time because the guy looked like Miles Teller. So
okay, same thing, equally as like, what are you doing? So it was so awkward. And like even the waitress knew we didn't have like a connection. Like she was looking at me like, girl. And I'm like, I just like set it on fire. I don't know, like make us leave. Alarm. I'll pay for it. Pull it. It was so bad. Oh, if you're I'm so sorry.
And you sat through the whole thing too?
I didn't know any. I didn't
out the bathroom window.
No, we were outside at oh my God. I think my brain is like, we just blocked out that trauma.
You like repressed that.
Oh God, I'd like it's all coming back up right now. This is
I can tell
crazy.
You sound like a bad first date if that helps.
Yeah, I mean that was literally the first worst date in the world. But go on.
Oh, I'm not so sure about that.
Oh no. Do you have a worst first date?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I do. The one really bad one that comes to mind would be I did a COVID date, one where we like were wearing masks.
Oh, wait, hold on. Were you 6 feet apart?
So we started that way.
How did it end?
We went for like a beach walk. It was very cute. It was a teacher. We went for a beach walk.
Oh, you love that.
Yeah, I was so
Oh, wait, okay, we have to go back to the teacher
Okay.
thing.
Okay. I was so desperate for love. I was so desperate, and I was so fucking lonely. We went on this adorable little date. I felt like we were vibing. Things were good. We walked back to our cars. And I was like, all right, well, it was horrified to say this. It was so good to meet you. And I went and gave him a hug, and then I leaned in to kiss him, and he kind of moved, and I still went for it.
Oh.
And it was like kissing a hard, like, wooden board. And then I let go, and I was like, I wasn't sure if, okay, well, I'm going to go. And he was just like, nice meeting you. And then I just got in the car.
Okay, so how do you feel now about
Well, I
kissing
never
him
heard
first?
from him again. So,
Well,
it wasn't my best moment. I don't know what came over me. I just really wanted to have a teacher boyfriend, and I don't anymore.
I totally understand that.
Okay, so what was your teacher?
Is that
why?
When I was in high school, we had like a teacher's aide or something
Yeah.
that was like only like 22 when we were like 18. So like it's really not that weird.
That, yeah.
But
like
like
years.
he like I felt like vibes.
Okay.
And at graduation, he texted me and was like, come to the gym, and was like, do you want to get coffee sometime? And I was like, yo, I'm not even out of my cap and gown. Like, that was so fast. That was like, I mean, literally the second it was legal, he was like, hello.
That's good.
But I went. So I guess that was my real first date ever, I guess.
Oh my God. No, because what it is yours are so like romantic and cute and like, aw, and mine are like shameful. But I think the people want to hear it.
Yeah, the people do.
So like at my high school, my music teacher was like so much older than me and lovely. He's like a dad to me or whatever. But music was like my heart and soul, and I was like all I did it in high school because like everybody did sports. That was like the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a sports person. I was not a sports person.
Yeah, Chicago too.
Yeah. I found out that the music teacher had been replaced. He retired and somebody else took his place. And I was home for like one Christmas, matched with this guy on Hinge, and it said that he worked at my high school. And I was like, oh no. We went on a date. It was like great. We just had drinks, and I found out that he was the new music teacher at my old high school. Granted, also this was a boarding school. I lived on campus, so it wasn't just like,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I always forget you went to a boarding school.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It wasn't just like normal, like, oh, your high school, whatever. Like,
no, boarding school students are like a mythical creature, like a dragon, like something that you hear of, but you will never see. And I can't believe I'm friends with one of you.
Gosh.
You guys are like an enchanted forest fairy.
We are. That's exactly what we are. Yeah. But because we lived on campus, there was like an extra like element of closeness to all the teachers and students. Anyway, drinks went great with this guy. I waited to the very last minute to be like, by the way, I went to the school that you teach at, and he was like, oh my God. And I thought it was gonna be like no for him. I think he kind of thought I was hot. And so I was like, I don't know who got this idea, but I was like, let's go 10 minutes away to the school right now, and I'll show you my photo on the wall that you walk by every single day and not realize that it's me. And so I took him back to the music place and showed him, and then like a dream come true, had a little rendezvous in the dorms.
It's kind of cute
he was like an RA, is that what it's called? I think, whatever, advisor of the dorms. So, but he was for a boys dorm. So imagine like my like younger self being like, wow, oh my God, I'm exploring like the boys dorm for the first time. And we'll rendezvous with the music teacher. He doesn't work there anymore, so it's all good.
So we can talk about it.
Okay, anyway, so originally my question was going off of your thoughts on kisses on a first date. I feel like confident that you have to just like play it by the moment, because sometimes I feel like no, but then I'm like, maybe that's the only good thing that I'll get out of this date.
Yeah, and also it's just kissing. It's really, I mean, like,
I do think you need, okay, I don't think you need to do anything. So whatever you choose to do in your life, fucking power to you.
Good luck. Yeah.
I live by the rule of waiting for the third date for sex if you're going to go in that direction. People wait even longer. Some people dive right in. For me personally, I have found that I want someone to get to know me as a human being first. And I also kind of want to feel like I know you before I get into bed with you. Like, you feel me? But I can separate like emotions and sex, but I'm always just like, I don't know. I need to give it a little bit of time.
My body count is like embarrassingly low, but also like
your man's.
I was so young, so like dates.
Yeah.
what date? 16. I'll pick you up on my bike. You know what I mean? Like what? You don't like I was 20 when I met Caleb pretty much. So like,
did you have your first kiss?
Okay, my first time I ever kissed a boy was Truth or Dare. Oh. And we're still friends. Like he's cool. He was my neighbor. My first kiss though, like romantically, is in prison.
Oh.
Yeah.
For what?
Murder.
Wow.
I know. But
what? That is by definition dodging a bullet.
I'm unwell. Absolutely not. I'm leaving. Goodbye. This has been fun.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I like it's not funny. We shouldn't be laughing about it.
No, my joke was.
No, funny. Yeah, isn't that? I mean, but also I grew up in Chicago, so I don't, know. But
my first kiss,
mm-hmm.
Was at a church lock-in.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a great story. His name was Chandler Franco. If you're watching, Chandler, hey,
what a name, Chandler Franco.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows he was my first kiss either. I hope he does. I think we were 13.
I was 13 too.
Okay, I was gonna ask how old you were. Mm-hmm. Okay, so at the church lock-in, he like texted me on my little Razor flip phone, never forget, and was like, "Hey, come meet me in like the kitchen of the church." So I also distinctly remember I was wearing Juicy Couture knee socks.
The ones with the stripe, the white ones with the stripe.
Yes. Sophie shorts rolled 70,000
Of course, in every color.
Yep. I don't know what I was wearing on top, maybe like a t-shirt or something. But I was like, I'm feeling myself. I'm so cute.
It's exactly what I wore when I was 13 as well. Thank you.
So I was like, okay, I gotta find this guy. I go to the kitchen of the church, and he's like, because the guys and the girls were supposed to be separated, obviously, but it's a lock-in. It's crazy. And he's like, oh, come here, and he like pulls me into like a closet of like the church kitchen, and it's one of those like supply closets that has like food storage and stuff. And the only light is like one of those lights that you like pull the thing. Like
is it a pantry? Is that what you're trying to explain?
It's a pantry. It's a pantry. So it's a pantry.
She's like, it's a storage closet for food, and it's like you pull the light. I'm like, are you talking?
So it's a pantry.
A pantry?
That's exactly what I meant. It has one of those lights that you pull or whatever. So we're doing this like awkward thing where we're like holding hands like this, and on both of our hands. So like I'm gonna put it down and demonstrate for a second.
Oh, Presh.
And we're doing this with our hands, like just swinging them.
Okay.
Right? And we're swinging them, and his hand that's intertwined with mine brushes the side of my boob.
Oh no.
And I barely even noticed it.
Tisk tisk.
And he drops my hands and he goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just felt you up." Oh, what? And then he shuts the light off. No response. Kisses me. And then I'm like, still thinking about the thing that happened. Then I like light comes back on, I guess. And he's like, I obviously won't tell anybody that I like felt you up. And I'm like, what you did? You just accidentally hit like the
that can happen like in class during the day.
And then he went around and told everybody they felt me up in the closet of the church.
I wonder if young boys are still doing that, completely lying about hooking up with girls.
Yeah, but I love that he like made the effort to convince himself.
Well,
like so that there could have been a misunderstanding between us, but there wasn't.
Yeah, nothing is more interesting to me than the 14-year-old male brain. I mean, I just don't even know what goes on in there.
Wild,
like
wild,
crazy, like Mad Max. Like,
absolutely,
just crazy world.
So that was my first kiss story. Then we broke up 3 days later. Very sad. It was my first all-nighter too. I'll never forget it.
Oh, that's a good experience.
I know. Yeah. I haven't actually pulled an all-nighter since because I don't like them.
I don't either. I get sick.
I'm curious about this. As somebody who wants the answer for personal reasons, can you like stay in touch? Not necessarily be friends with, but can you stay in touch with an ex when you're with somebody?
I think you can, but I also think that you need a solid answer and reason why.
Yeah.
me personally, I'm not really friends with my exes, but also when I lost my mom, a lot of my exes showed up to the wake, as which happens.
Yeah.
And then so maybe like from that point on, now if I see them in public, it's not weird. It's like we went through this like sad moment, and you were there, thank you, and whatever.
But you're not like texting them.
No. I'm only friends with one ex, and like sometimes we do talk, but like he's met Caleb, and like he's like, I actually hooked him up with his girlfriend, most recent ex-girlfriend now. But yeah, but that's just one.
What do you think about like if you dated them and you're like, I really think we would have been better off as friends, like to begin with? Like, do you think then that it's fine?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Simply because in my life, I've experienced having feelings for somebody, something happening, and then looking at them being like, I don't know how I ever even,
totally.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing.
No, yeah.
You just grow out of being attracted to somebody.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like if you play it out in your head, which I've done like before Caleb, if a guy was a friend and then I liked him, I'm like, I'm going to date you and be miserable.
Yeah.
Like I like you, we flirt, it's a good time, but like where is this going? To hell, because I'm going to be miserable if I date you.
It's factual. Yeah, the person that comes to mind for me is somebody that I'm like, we just laughed so much. Like, we were like so friends at such a level that I'm like, I'll be just gonna be sucky not to have this person. Like, I'm glad I met them. But I think about that a lot because I'm like, I unfortunately have a lot of men in my life in particular that want to stick around.
Ugh, hate that for you.
Yeah. And it was something that was made very clear in my last relationship that was not cool, which is totally valid because if it were me, I wouldn't want my boyfriend to have a bunch of friends that were exes. But it's a bit of a challenge for me because I've got quite a few that make their way back every once in a while.
Hate boys.
Or if they're not my ex, they're like some ex situationship or something more complicated. But anyway. It's because I think I'm a very like emotionally in tune person. So a lot of these men will like go through life experiences and changes and be like, oh my God, like you were right all along. I had all this work to do and like I didn't appreciate you when I had you. Like that's like the constant through line of my exes. Oh, I had no idea like how great I had it and you're
like, yeah, I know. I tried telling you.
They're like, you were trying to get me to open up and oh my God, now I can open up and I'm ready for you. And then I'm like, that actually happened once. And I was like, I'll give it a try. Never doing that again. You don't text any of your exes?
No, just like the one I'm kind of friends with. We don't text.
But do you think it'd be kind of a vibe where like you guys could go out to get drinks or whatever with Caleb was there? Like,
yeah. So like we kind of, it's happened because Caleb flew into town when my mom passed and like we went to a bar that,
Yeah, I think that's fine. I have especially a place in my heart for people who like don't fuck with that with their partner. Like the idea of like, oh, I don't want you to be in touch with your ex. That's so fine. Like that is so fine. You have to like be okay with that.
No one's crazy about it.
No.
And like the only reason I even was is because like there was a death, which brings people together.
Yeah, it's just like, why add that complication?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I guess it's okay to be friends with an ex, but you need a solid fucking reason to be talking to that person.
What do you think about loving more than one person at the same time? Do you think that's possible? Not saying you have, but do you believe that's a possibility?
I believe loving more than one person, but I don't think you could be in love with two people at the same time. Just because, like, I know for me, what I feel for my boyfriend it was an unprecedented feeling. Like no one else has that ability to make me feel like that's safe and that,
I completely agree. I think you can love two people at the same time and not necessarily be in love with them both.
Yes, that for sure.
And I don't even mean love just as a platonic way. Like, I think you can have, like, really strong romantic feelings for somebody.
Yes, multiple people,
I really think there is a huge difference between being in love with your partner versus loving them.
Yeah, there is.
And just the same way there's a difference between me loving my partner versus loving my best friend. Like, there's still two different types of love in my mind. But speaking as someone who has been guilty of dating a couple people at once, I think I've gotten pretty damn close to loving two at once. When it wasn't even exclusive. I'm such a lover girl. Help me. I definitely think it's possible. I didn't think it was possible until I had that experience, though.
Right.
Especially because when you're dating two people that are so incredibly different, like, you can love them each for different reasons, too. And, like, it's very easy to hold a place for that, I think. But when I was in love with my boyfriend, like, no fucking way. Right. I also would have, like, freaked the fuck out if he like loved another girl too. So it's like, it's a different kind of
it is.
If me or one of your friends was interested in dating like one of your exes or like one of their friends' exes, do you think it's completely off limits?
It totally depends. Because, like, my best friend, my childhood best friend, who I still love, talked to her like an hour today. She went to prom with my ex.
Yeah.
But I didn't give a shit because I didn't care about him at all. So she's like, do you mind? Is it okay? I'm like, go. I don't fucking care. Have a blast. Sorry, banana.
I know, it's okay. I stepped on her.
Sorry, Nan. Do you want a banana and pajamas? Yeah. Come on, Nan. Come on, pajamas.
I want to see you.
The girl.
Oh, she picked you.
Yeah. She likes me.
I have like a toxic opinion on this, I think. I think it's toxic. Stay the fuck away from my exes if you're my friend. Unless, like you said, it was someone I truly like didn't really
I physically couldn't care less about this person.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I don't care. But any other boyfriend, I would have killed her.
I just feel like
there's so many people in the world.
That's the thing. There's so many fucking options. Like so many options. And if it's somebody that I only had like a momentary fling with and like I ended things with them or something and I'm just like, oh, tried it, didn't work. And you're like, oh, I'm obsessed with them. I could be open to that concept. But anybody who's like going to be like, oh, like, no, so-and-so, your ex is my soulmate. I'm like, are you sure you're not just obsessed with me?
Yeah.
Hot take.
Wait, this is actually a crazy story. One of my dad's best friends, he was single. Very rich man, okay? Was single, went to a wedding, took one look at the bride.
Oh, you're lying.
And said, that's my wife. And met her, went up to the husband and said, it's nice to meet you. Unfortunately, I'm going to take your wife. They're married. He took her from her own wedding, married her, and they've been married 30 years. They have
At
kids.
the wedding?
Yep. I don't know what happened at the actual wedding, but he met her at her own wedding and said, you're my wife. And she was, I don't know what that, I never met, I met her, but we never talked about that. I've only heard of his side.
Imagine being the husband, the groom. In that
I would lose my...
The idea of a man coming up to me if I were like the groom at a wedding going, hey, nice to meet you, I'm going to see you out.
If a woman went up to Caleb at my wedding and said, nice to meet you, I'm going to take you home tonight, I would honestly take my fist and put it through her fucking face. And not because I'm worried about Caleb. Like everyone, the comments are going to be like, oh, you insecure? No. It's the sheer respect.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just the principle. This is my wedding.
That's insane. Wait, so they're married still and they have kids?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like literally still married, like actively married as we speak.
If you're watching this as a dude, don't take that as a sign.
No, don't do that.
It. I mean,
don't do that.
You're a billionaire.
Which he is.
And I'm going to be honest with you.
It's probably why
I don't know. Because let me be
I don't want to say this because I do love him, but I don't think that hurt.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. $1 billion?
I don't know if he's a billionaire, but
like going love money a little bit, like a little.
That just is like the thought of
that's fucking
the thought of waking up that morning and being like, I'm marrying the love of my life, and going to bed that night being like, I met the love of my life. Like, that's insane.
That's so insane.
Not wild.
That's like unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck. I want to know how much money this guy had. So bad. I can't stop thinking about it now.
But regardless, he couldn't have shown it off that much at her wedding. Do you know what I mean? She couldn't have known.
He had to have said something to her is a thing.
Yeah, I know.
That couldn't have been the only exchange.
That's what I think is funny is that I've only heard his side.
I've got it.
I never asked her about it.
Wow. Well, can you go find out for me?
Yeah, I will actually. I'll bring it back.
Next topic is one that's very sensitive for me.
Mm-hmm.
The concept of like taking space when in a relationship if you're like in conflict, and also to be more specific, like being on a break. Like, what are your thoughts on being?
I don't do breaks.
Neither do I.
I don't do breaks.
I don't either.
We're either broken up or we are together. What is this break nonsense?
Yep. And I said that in my last relationship, and I'm so glad I stuck to it in retrospect, because there was a time where when we were gonna break up, he was like, well, that time 3 months before, we could have done a break, but instead you didn't want to do a break, so now we're here. And I remember being like, oh my God, I should have let him take a break.
Yeah, no. Way to gaslight me into thinking that we should have had a break.
Oop, tea. I mean, maybe that's what he needed. Maybe he really thinks like that's good for a future relationship for him. But
that's what all men need, because every man dreams of some woman who can't respond to the nonsense he's spewing out. So yeah.
And that's on tea. And that's why you're my best friend.
Like, I mean, it's true though. Like, I love my man, but like even he'll admit sometimes he's like, I don't know why I say this shit.
Yeah, 100%. I think what happened was I did allow for a type of space earlier on in our relationship before he was like, can we take a break? Because he didn't call it a break. This will traumatize me for the rest of my fucking life, but I don't want to give too many details. Basically, we spent some time together. I did some things that very much upset him. And he decided in response he wanted 72 hours of no contact with me.
Okay, drama queen. Fucking,
let me tell you something.
You on your period? That's what I would say to him.
Let me tell you something. If you have anxiety like me, never agree to that.
No, you'll end up hospitalized. Yeah.
Oh, I nearly did. I lost like 15 pounds in a week.
Oh,
granted, it was only 72 hours of space, but I was just recovering. I was just like not good. I really like, and to this day, anytime like I'm in something with somebody and they're like, oh, I need some space or whatever, instant trigger, and I'm like, fuck no, not happening. Either we break up or we don't. Like,
right.
It's like I'm huge on that. So I say fuck space personally. I do think it's fine if you're like in an argument and you're really heated and you know that nothing that comes out of your mouth in the next few minutes is going to be productive in any way, and you go like, let me just cool off.
That's what I mean, that's how I live my life.
Right.
Like everyone, not just my boyfriend, like people irritate me on a constant basis. And I'm like, I need to walk away before I come back to you, before I hurt your feelings.
100%. I don't think it should ever be more than like a few hours.
No, but also that's not a break. That's a breather.
That's a breather. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's like taking space when you need it because it's better for your relationship.
Yeah. And also like it's proven fact that you're a different person if you take 10 minutes to breathe and calm down.
Yeah. 100%. Also on the other side of you have anxiety and you're the person who is needing that your partner needs the space. Like it actually is really good for you too. Even if you're like, oh wait, I don't want you to leave, and you're having that abandonment like thing get triggered, it ends up being really good for you because you can take a second to kind of like check in with the things in you that are being triggered so that you can respond like a little bit more even keeled. So fuck space if it's more than a few hours, but also I think it's okay if you just need
if you're saying like I love you, I just need like a day, that's different.
I still think a day would trigger me, and everyone's different.
Depends on what happens, I guess.
But also I think like if it's like I love you, we're gonna work this out and we're gonna talk about it.
Yes, that's what I mean.
I'm gonna take the day.
Yes, meaning I'm taking this day to not talk to you, but that no part of me is like
it's going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, and this time it happened to me, like the person was like, I have to think about whether I want to be in this. That was tough. And I was just like, ugh, abandonment trigger, crazy. Right. Do you have any opinion on whether couples should or shouldn't live together before they get married?
I think they should.
I think so too.
I think it's actually ludicrous to marry someone that you don't live with. That's actually insane. The only exception is if you basically live together, where you spend all of your time at one another's apartment. I still think it's different. I think it's ideal to live together. Like actually live together. You need to.
But I think if you literally spend every single day with one another,
like it's about knowing every inch of that person and also having your shit combined with their shit, like literal stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because like I hate when Caitlin's stuff is with my stuff because it's my stuff.
And that's a different experience.
It is.
Yeah, I agree.
But it, like you're right. When you do travel together and spend so much time at one another's house, it's basically the same thing.
It's pretty close. If a friend of mine is like, oh, we're getting married, but like they basically live together, I'm not usually like, uh-oh.
Right.
But if someone's like,
because living together and marriage are both really big steps separately. Like that's why when couples start dating for like 4 months and they move in together, I'm like, please don't. Wait, what do you do?
This is geared specifically towards an experience that happened. The question is if there's something you could find at your partner's place that could be a deal breaker. I don't mean like a girl's ponytail holder or something like that. I'm talking like a habit or a cleanliness thing that they do that you're like, fuck no. One of the guys I dated one time was so fucking messy that he left like crushed beer cans on the floor, like everywhere. So if you were able to find a spot where you could walk, sticky. I don't do sticky.
No, that's really bad. That's
like if you can't keep your own room clean,
just grow up. Like, like and messiness is one thing. Yeah. Clothes all over the floor, shoes, whatever. Yeah. But like
I just feel for the girls that are like, oh, but it's fine. And she's just a little messy. Like, he's such a good person. It's not that. Like, because I used to feel that way too.
Right.
It's not just a little messy. It's a sign of a real fucking issue. And that is that they don't have respect for their space. And like, I need to have a clean place.
An organized space is an organized mind. That's what my mom used to tell me.
Yeah. For me, it's a deal breaker for sure. Another thing, I think if I found like old pictures of him with a girlfriend framed or something, that might be a deal breaker. Why is it framed?
Probably because she did it. I doubt he went out and got it framed.
Out.
Whatever. I wouldn't get mad about that.
I would. I'd be like, put it in the trash.
I mean, I would now because I'd be like, what? It's been like a decade. Yeah. Like,
who's the girl?
Who? Is this your aunt? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
My like true crime loving ass, when you asked that, I was like, oh, I would look for like, handcuffs, some kind of restraints, gorilla glue, syringes, zip ties.
Yeah. Like a safe house.
A bomb shelter.
Somewhere.
Well, that's not his fault, but.
A bomb shelter with chains hanging.
What's in the bomb? Mm-hmm.
Bleach in the hiding somewhere.
Of course, that's where my mind went. But,
that would be a deal breaker.
Well, yeah, I'd run
full speed.
I wouldn't embarrass myself. Like, I'm not one of those people. Like, I'd be like, it's better to say like sorry than die.
Yeah, I have to agree. Epic. I can't believe that's where your head went. I was like a photo.
No, I am like the neighborhood watch. Like, I'm the old woman. That actually, this is like, I don't even know if I've ever told you this. I called 911 once on a girl being kidnapped.
Was she actually being kidnapped?
So like, from what I saw, yeah. But so I was like on my balcony where I used to live, and I used to live directly across the street from this like really, really, really janky motel, like very creepy and just like so dangerous, not good. And I saw this girl. She was not a day older than like 13, 14.
Uh-huh.
And she was not dressed inappropriately by any means. Like, she had on like jeans, Uggs, a sweater, a vest. She was really young, and she had on like a cute little outfit. I will never forget it. And this guy, they were standing outside, this guy and her, this big, tall man, bald, kind of like chubby. He was in a blue and white polo. And I had to give it the description.
How you're like a policeman's like dream.
Especially when it comes to like young women. Yeah. I will literally look like a fool to protect a young woman. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this, and she's like crying. And then he puts his finger in her face and like whispers something. And she puts both her hands up and goes like this, and she gets into the van.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, that's a no. So my roommate at the time, my boyfriend at the time, they're like, Celesta, like, leave it alone. Don't get in your business. I'm like, what, bitch? I pick up my phone and call 911. I'm like, I don't know if this is alarming or not, but I would not live with myself if I didn't let you guys know. This is what I'm seeing. First, they were like, yeah, okay, whatever, ma'am. But it's the second I described what he looked like, 7 squad cars and a helicopter. And so they
saved
7 squad cars and a helicopter. So then I get off the phone with 911. About an hour and a half later, a random number calls me, and I answer, and it says, they're like, hi, this is the LAPD. We can't release any information because she is a minor, but I want you to know that she is safe. That's all they said. That's all they said to me.
God, that's gonna make me cry.
So I don't know what really happened.
But
like,
police don't call you and do that unless they actually like.
See, that's never, like, I've called 911 before. I've never gotten a call back. So yeah.
So you rock. You're a baddie.
I mean, no, you're not gonna do, not in front of me, not in front of my house. Hell no. Right, Nans?
Fuck no.
Right, Nan. Oh.
Final segment of the show, as we do.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to whine about this week?
I feel like a lot of people whine about this, but it is so well deserved. It's a well deserved whine. Why are tampons and pads not free?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Facts.
Why? Water and sunshine are free.
No one can control that they're menstruating. Like,
trust me, if I could, I would. And I also, I did not sign up for this. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up to be born, number one. Number two, certainly not to be a woman. And I really, for sure, no, I did not sign up to bleed once a month.
Yeah.
And I can't control it.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. It's bad enough that first of all, it's like, any other, I think, is it Whitney Cummings? I don't know. A female comedian talks about this. She's like, any other person on earth, especially men, bleed that much. Yeah. It's a hospital visit.
Yeah.
Like if you walk into the office bleeding, you're like, go to the ER. Meanwhile, I have blood actively dripping down my leg, and I have to continue this conversation with you as if I don't.
It's a necessity.
And if I say I have to go home, it's a sick day. Okay, yeah, I do. All of that is just a long-winded way of saying that whatever I have to put up my body to stop the bleeding should be free and available and accessible.
That makes perfect fucking sense to me. That's the perfect thing to whine about.
Yeah.
I want to whine about similar, but not, because mine's much less rational. I don't like that we have to cut our toenails. Yeah, I reach a point where I hate it. I never have liked it. It's just like an extra little thing. It's like, really? It's like, really? I've had a long day.
It is kind of annoying.
Like, why do I need to cut? Like, why did God make me somebody whose toenails grow? And the worst part is, like, you could just ignore it and be like, nah, I'm not gonna cut my toenails. It hurts after a while.
It does, yeah.
And I don't fuck with it. I mean, it's the worst when I've done like a long day at like Disneyland or something. I've been walking. Yeah, I don't like that you have to get your toenails cut.
I just get mine done because I like the massage chairs.
That's a nice. And I don't really like getting my nails done either. So sometimes I'll get like a mani pedi just so that A, I can get my toenails cut, and B, I can like enjoy something while someone's fucking with my hands.
Right.
I fucking hate getting my nails done.
I do too.
I wish that was a whole other. Like, I'll get onto that. That'll be my other. What do I want?
I do. When I hate it too. I mean, I can't. But it's so worth it.
I know,
because you never leave regretting it. You know what I mean?
My God, sometimes I'm just like.
Sometimes I'm like, get me out of here.
Simulation overload. They're playing pop covers by people you've never heard in your life.
Arguing, yelling,
yes, screaming,
colors,
drill
buzzing.
Sound.
Yeah, exactly.
When they're wearing the fucking rubber gloves and all your like nail shavings are on it and they touch your hand, I hate that fucking feeling. Gross. So anything toenail and fingernail related,
I'm not about it.
It's not a vibe. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our episode.
That was part 2.
Make sure you guys stream on all your streaming platforms and follow at Whine and Yap on Instagram. That's WHINE and Yap. And we love you so much.
Love you. Thank you for watching.